Welcome back, everyone. In the last episode, our hearts were in our throats as Toan and Diem faced those terrifying threats in the dead of night at their new home. But today, let's set those worries aside for a moment. After the storm comes the rainbow. After days of running and living in fear, Toan and Diem have finally found a rare moment of peace. 2 days after moving into the wooden cabin on the hill, their lives have started to settle into a rhythm. And today, the young couple has hatched a special plan, a housewarming party, but not at their own place. Instead, they're holding it at the home of the old woman who saved them. From harvesting green beans to earn a living, to the excitement of shopping at the market. And then, the moment Toan's heart skips a beat when he realizes the grandmother isn't home. Has something bad happened? Or is it just a misunderstanding leading to an emotional release? Join us for an episode filled with love and happy tears right now. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to share in their joy. Early in the morning, while the mist still clung to the hilltop, Toan and Diem were already up and about. Today, they took a job harvesting green beans for a farm owner about 5 kilometers away. The old motorbike sputtered to life, carrying 2 people with radiant smiles. The green bean field appeared lush and green, with long, straight beans hanging down. Toan took a deep breath. It smells amazing, Diem. The scent of the earth, the plants. I feel healthier than when I was taking vitamins. All morning, the couple worked hard. Although Toan wasn't used to farm work and his hands were a bit clumsy, he was very diligent. He copied Diem gently, snapping each bean so as not to scratch the skin and arranging them neatly in the basket. Do I qualify as a standard farmer yet, wifey? Toan winked at Diem while wiping off sweat. Diem giggled and handed him a towel. You're decent, but this farmer is a bit too handsome. Be careful, or the village girls might snatch you away. By noon, the work was done. The farm owner was very pleased with their speed and honesty, so he paid them generously and even rewarded them with a big bag of beans to take home. Holding the money earned from honest labor in his hand, even though it wasn't much, compared to the massive fortune Toan used to own, but had forgotten he felt incredibly appreciative. Diem, Toan said as he counted the money. We're rich today. I want to do something. What is it? Diem asked. Toan looked into the distance, his voice warm. With all the chaos of moving lately, we haven't visited Grandma. She lives alone and eats so poorly. I want to use this money to go to the market, buy lots of delicious food, and cook a feast for her. Consider it a celebration of our new job and a way to nourish her too. Hearing this, Diem teared up. She was happy not because of the money, but because the man beside her had such a kind heart. I agree with both hands and feet. Let's go, honey. The district market is about to close. The district market was bustling today. Toan and Diem walked hand in hand like newlyweds, shopping for the holidays. They stopped at the meat stall. Toan pointed, Ma'am, please sell me the best piece of pork belly, the kind for braising. My grandma has weak teeth, so please pick a tender piece. Then they went to the chicken stall. Toan chose a plump young hen. This one stewed with lotus seeds would be perfect. Right, Diem? Diem nodded. That's right. Let's buy some shiitake mushrooms and lotus seeds to go with it, honey. They shopped without holding back. They bought pork sausage fried tofu, Grandma's favorite fresh oranges milk. Toan was carrying bags under both arms, sweating profusely, but he kept grinning. Today, I'm going to show off my skills as the head chef. You just have to be my sous chef. Oh, please don't brag. Just make sure you don't burn the rice for Grandma and me, Diem teased. The motorbike rolled on, carrying a clutter of food and a sky full of hope for a warm reunion dinner. They had no idea that an unusual silence was waiting for them ahead. The bike turned onto the familiar dirt road leading to the old woman's house. From afar, the thatched cottage looked tiny under the ancient tree, but today, something was very strange. No smoke rose from the kitchen. The bamboo gate was flung wide open, and notably, Muck the dog, her loyal friend, didn't run out to bark a welcome like usual. Toan killed the engine, the smile vanishing from his lips. "Why is it so quiet?" he muttered. "Maybe she's just taking a nap." Diem reassured him, but a vague unease rose in her heart too. The two of them carried the bags into the yard. Grandma too! We're here to visit you!" Toan called out loudly. No answer. Only the sound of wind rustling through the banana bushes behind the house. Toan rushed into the main house. The bamboo bed was empty. The palm leaf fan still lay on the table. The tea kettle was stone cold. "Diem, she's not home." Toan's voice began to panic. Memories of the stalking strangers and the threatening white chrysanthemum from the night before suddenly flooded Toan's mind. Could it be? Had they found this place? Had they harmed her to send him a message? "Grandma!" Toan screamed, rushing to the back kitchen. It was cold and empty. The ashes were dead. Toan ran to the chicken coop, then the pond bank. Still no sign of her. Cold sweat broke out on Toan's forehead. He turned to Diem, his face pale. "Diem, do you think... Did they take her?" Diem was terrified too, her limbs trembling. "Calm down. Just calm down. Let me see." Toan couldn't stay calm. He threw the bag of meat on the ground, ready to bolt out the gate to search. His mind painted hundreds of worst-case scenarios. How could a frail old woman fight off thugs? Just as Toan was about to start the bike, Diem grabbed his arm, pointing toward the dense banana garden deep behind the hill. "Toan, I think I hear digging." Toan held his breath. Thud, thud. Faint, rhythmic sounds echoed from behind the broad banana leaves. Toan tiptoed forward, grabbing a dry stick as a weapon, just in case. He gently parted the leaves, and then his whole body went limp, and the stick fell to the ground. There were no kidnappers, just a tiny hunched figure nestled between rows of dark brown earth. The old woman was diligently hoeing the soil to plant a few more sweet potato patches. She wore a tattered conical hat, her brown shirt soaked with sweat. Because she was hard of hearing and focused on her work, she hadn't heard Toan calling. "Grandma!" Toan called out, his voice cracking with emotion. The old woman, startled, looked up and squinted. "Oh, Toan, Diem, when did you two get here?" Toan said nothing. He rushed over, collapsing to his knees beside her, hugging her mud-stained legs tight. "Oh my God, you scared me to death, I thought. I thought you had left us." The old woman was confused, then smiled toothlessly, patting Toan's head. "You silly boy, I'm still strong. The king of hell hasn't called me yet? Don't worry. I saw the soil was soft after the rain, so I dug a bit to plant potatoes for food." Diem ran, over to laughing through her tears. "Grandma, it's so sunny you have to rest. We bought so much good food for you. Stop working, come inside, so we can cook for you." The old woman looked at her two adopted children, her eyes beaming with happiness. All right, let's go in." "My goodness, why did you buy so much? It's too expensive." Toan stood up, taking the hoe from her hand. "From now on, leave the heavy work to me. Today I'm making braised pork belly so tender it melts in your mouth. You just sit back and be the supervisor." Smoke once again curled up from the small kitchen. The aroma of braised pork and boiled chicken filled the air, chasing away the usual cold loneliness. Toan was busy blowing on the fire, his face smudged with soot and ash, but his smile never faded. Diem chopped meat, washed vegetables, and occasionally wiped the sweat from her husband's brow. The old woman sat on the bamboo bed, gently waving her palm leaf fan, her heart warming as she watched the two children. "Delicious. It's been so long since I've had a meal that smells this meaty and good," the old woman praised as Toan brought the tray over. Toan picked out the leanest, most tender piece for her bowl. "Please eat up, Grandma. We just got a job at the bean farm and made a little money. Once we're stable, I'll bring you up to the wooden house to live with us. It'll be fun." The meal passed with laughter and chatter. The cozy family atmosphere made Toan forget he was a man with amnesia. He felt like this was his true family. However, watching her eat a bold idea sparked in his mind. "Grandma, this land is big, but you can't manage it alone. How about I talk to Diem, and during the day, we come down to help you fix up the garden, plant more vegetables, and raise more chickens. At night, we'll go back up the hill. That way, we can take care of you and earn some extra income." The old woman stopped her chopsticks, looking at Toan with a deep gaze. "That sounds like a plan. But, Toan..." "Yes?" "Earlier, when I was digging in the back, I saw some strangers lurking at the fence, peering in here. When they saw me looking, they walked away. You need to be careful when you travel." Her words dampened the mood instantly. Toan and Diem looked at each other. Strangers. Them again. Although the meal was joyous, that warning served as a reminder. This peace is very fragile. Toan held her hand tight. "Rest assured, I am here. No one will dare harm you. After we eat, I'll reinforce the fence for you." Fortunately, there was no kidnapping, just a scare, born of Toan's immense love for the old woman. The image of Toan kneeling to hug her in the banana garden, or the warm dinner this afternoon, surely touched all our hearts. But who were the strangers the old woman mentioned? Why were they lurking around her house? Is Toan and Diem's presence here unintentionally bringing trouble to their benefactor? After finishing the meal, Toan and Diem asked for permission to head home as it was getting late. The old motorbike struggled up the slope again. But unlike the trip there, the atmosphere on the way back was significantly heavier and quieter. The sun had set completely behind the mountains. The red dirt road leading up the hill had no streetlights, only the weak yellow beam of the motorbike headlight sweeping across the roadside grass. Diem sat behind, wrapping her arms tightly around Toan's waist. She pressed her face against his back, trying to find a little warmth and safety. In her head, the old woman's words kept echoing. "I saw some strangers lurking, peering in here." Who? Why the old woman's house? Did they know Toan came here often? Diem shivered. She felt as if in the darkness of the forest, on both sides of the road, dozens of eyes were watching their bike. "Diem, are you cold?" Toan asked, feeling his wife tremble. "Yes, a little cold." Diem lied. She wasn't cold from the wind. She was cold with fear. Toan reached down to squeeze Diem's hands interlaced over his stomach. "We're almost home. Don't worry too much. Grandma might have just been seeing things, or maybe they were just land surveyors." Toan tried to reassure his wife, but he didn't believe his own words. His instinct screamed that danger was closer than ever. He constantly checked the rearview mirror, his grip on the handlebars tightening, ready to react to any threat. Back at the wooden cabin, Toan wheeled the bike inside and locked the door tight. He even wedged a chair against the main entrance, just to be safe. The cabin was so quiet at night that you could hear termites gnawing inside the walls. After washing up, the couple went to bed. Toan was exhausted from a hard day's labor. His eyes closed the moment his head hit the pillow, but his hand remained tucked underneath it, gripping the handle of the machete, an object that hadn't left his side since last night. Diem lay beside him, but sleep seemed to have abandoned her. She tossed and turned, shifting left and right. Darkness swallowed the room. The pale moonlight filtered through the cracks in the curtains, drawing strange shapes on the floor. Diem stared wide-eyed at the ceiling. The question, why, kept drilling into her mind. Why was Toan's life filled with so much tragedy? He had lost his memory, come here to live in hiding as a humble farmer. Yet his past refused to let him go. And those strangers stalking the old woman, what if they hurt her? She was so frail and lived alone in such a desolate place. If Toan and Diem weren't there, who would protect her? Click, a small noise rang out from outside. Diem jumped, holding her breath. She listened. It was just the wind brushing a tree branch against the tin roof. Diem exhaled sharply, clutching her chest. Her heart pounded like it was about to burst. The worry for the old woman and the fear for her own safety made it impossible to close her eyes. "You can't sleep." Toan's warm voice resonated beside her. Turns out he wasn't asleep either. He had just been lying still to keep Diem calm. Diem turned, burying her face in his chest, tears beginning to well up. "Honey, I'm so worried. I just keep thinking about Grandma. What if those strangers come back tonight? She's all alone." Toan wrapped his arms around his wife, comforting her gently. "I've been thinking about that too. She is the benefactor who saved my life, and now she's being watched because of us. I feel incredibly guilty." After a moment of silence, Toan sat up, leaning back against the headboard. He pulled Diem up with him, looking straight into her eyes with serious intent. "Diem, listen. I've thought this through. We can't leave her down there alone in this situation." "What do you mean? Are we bringing her up here?" Diem asked. Huyen shook his head. "She won't leave. She's been attached to that land her whole life. Her ancestors' graves are there. Besides, bringing her up this steep hill would be dangerous for her." Toan took a deep breath and laid out his decision. "Here's the plan. Starting tomorrow, we're going to have to work a little harder. Early in the morning, we'll head down to Grandma's house. I'll help her fix the fence, reinforce the gate, and work in the garden. You handle the cooking and keep her company. We'll stay there all day to watch over her." "What about at night?" "At night, once dinner is done and she's safe inside with the gate locked, we'll come back here to sleep. After all, we rented this cabin and our chickens are here. We can't just abandon it." Diem hesitated. "But honey, it's a long way down to her house and the road is rough. Our motorbike is old. What if it breaks down in the middle of nowhere? If we have to walk, it'll take over an hour." Diem was right. That 5 or 6 kilometer slope was no joke, especially in the foggy morning or late at night. Toan squeezed Diem's hand tight. "I know it's tough. I know it'll be tiring for you. But Diem, we're young and healthy. Walking can just be exercise. But Grandma's safety comes first. I can't live in peace here, knowing she's in danger down there. Are you willing to endure this hardship with me?" looking into her husband's determined and grateful eyes, all of Diem's anxiety about the physical exhaustion vanished. She felt proud of this man. Diem nodded firmly. I agree. As long as I'm with you, and we're repaying her kindness together, I can walk any distance. Let's start tomorrow morning. Toan smiled, kissing her forehead lightly. Thank you. You're the best. Now go to sleep. We need strength to march tomorrow. The next morning, before the crack of dawn, when the jungle roosters were just letting out their first crows, Toan and Diem were already up. They packed their gear like soldiers preparing for battle. A little rice, a bundle of fresh mustard greens from the garden, and crucially, the machete for self-defense. The old motorbike threw a tantrum and refused to start in the biting cold. Toan kicked the starter over and over until he was sweating. Forget it, honey. It's on strike. Leave it home, we'll walk, Diem said quickly, not wanting Toan to waste his energy. Yeah, let's walk. Taking the shortcut through the acacia forest will be faster, Toan decided. The couple locked the wooden cabin and walked hand in hand down the frost-covered trail. The early morning wind was biting cold, but their steps were fueled by determination. They weren't walking for a paycheck. They were walking for responsibility, for love. The path was steep and slippery. At one point, Diem almost fell, so Toan carried her on his back for a stretch. Am I heavy? Light as a feather. Carrying the whole world is heavy, but carrying just my wife, I could do it all day. After nearly an hour of trekking, the old woman's house appeared before them. From afar, the gate was still shut tight. Thank goodness, looks like a peaceful night, Toan sighed in relief. They walked faster toward the house, but as they neared the fence, Toan suddenly froze. He raised a hand, signaling Diem to stop. What is it? Diem whispered. Toan pointed at the ground, right at the base of the hibiscus fence. The grass was trampled flat, and scattered everywhere were cigarette butts, fresh filters. This proved that someone had stood here for a long time last night, watching, stalking. Blood rushed to Toan's face. They weren't just lurking. They were beginning to encircle the house. He turned to Diem, his eyes burning. Get inside immediately. From this moment on, do not leave Grandma's side for a single step. Dear friends, Toan and Diem's decision to travel back and forth is brave, but incredibly risky. The discovery of the cigarette butts at the gate this morning shows that the enemy is patiently waiting for an opportunity. Will they dare to make a move during the day while Toan is there? And on the walk back to the wooden cabin at dusk tonight, is there a trap waiting for the exhausted young couple? The battle to protect their benefactor and recover lost memories has only just begun. Leave a comment saying, "Stay strong, Toan and Diem," to energize them for this arduous journey. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe immediately. The next episode, The Sunset Encounter and the Stalker's Secret, promises to be incredibly intense. Goodbye, and see you next time.